Welcome back to episode 327. Launch time. We're back. Once again. And to our listeners, our viewers, this podcast, these episodes are made so that you kind of have a little view of our world being a tech shop, and as I mentioned before, you probably just saw the episode with Chow. So we interview everybody in the team, one at a time, or maybe two at a time, depending on how it feels. But basically, we just want to get an intro, an insight into their world. So today, drum roll, I am with the great Moon.
Hey, nice to meet you guys.
His full name is Young Moon Kim. Is that right? Did I say
Yes,
that right?
yes.
And the reason why there's a word young there is because he wants to stress out that Asians never die. Asians never die. We never get old. He's always going to be young. See? Perfect. Moon, thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Good, great, yeah.
Good. Okay, so Moon, let's just dive right into it, eh? You okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Just for the purpose of our viewers, tell us what you do, tell us what your role is, tell us about your world at Putti.
Okay, cool, yeah. So I'm CTO at Putti, and as you know, the CTO is the most leading the tech for the team. And for my role is the mostly in that mentoring or guide the teams to deliver live product for our customer. So reason for, as you know, the IT industry is very young. Yeah, imagine in any other industry like constructions or the mathematics or scientists and stuff. 2,000 years in the human being. And then that in the industry is developed over the 2,000 years. However, IT is pretty much about 100 years history, right? The 1950s start mostly, and then that's why that especially around 20, 30 years ago, once the internet came out, the industry speed really fast.
And some sort of historian, Moon? Like, I don't even know. Is it 100 years? Like the IT?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Yeah, so less than 100 years, to be honest.
So it's quite young.
Yeah, very young. Industry itself are very young. That's why one day you may be the professor, right, from that industry, right? Because anyone can invent or develop the new things, and then they become the famous. So that's why every day the new technology come out, and then introducing the new things to try. And the challenge for our industry is that because there's so many things happening too fastly, and the people don't know what's the best. Even by myself, I don't know what's the best language, to be honest. So that's why that in our customers they are struggling, or that actually people are, or even the developer itself are struggling as well.
We'll get to that. Hey, we'll get to that because like you did drop in a bunch of little different nuggets in there that'd be good to unpack. But so essentially your world is you have to be in the forefront of leading the team into building all these technologies that we serve up, right? And so let's humanize you for a little bit. What do you usually do on the weekend? Tell us about that.
Weekend, I have two children, so that I have to make them happy during the weekend especially. Yeah. So and also I'm quite enjoying the different stuff. So weekend sometimes I go with the friends with the spearfishing for diving a little bit.
Spearfishing, oh my god!
And sometimes do inline skating. Sometimes every morning, Sunday morning, doing the archery. And a couple of the activities here and there.
Hang on. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that a little bit because as you may have seen, I don't know, you may have not seen it, but like we've posted a few things as of late, and this was Moon's brainchild, basically, to bring the entire team one Friday afternoon as a team building activity to archery. Now, Moon I don't know. Moon, what happened in that archery, man? Tell us about that. Tell us about you. Why don't you tell us from your perspective?
I didn't do much. I was part of a team.
Wow, part of a team. Which team are you part of, Moon?
The other side.
I distinctly remember someone saying, "Look, I'm just not gonna play because I'll just watch you guys because it would be unfair because I actually really do this, And then somehow you're part of a team. Is that what we're talking about?
So our team was the way lower scores. So I just wanted to help them.
Oh, it was good fun. Here are some photos, maybe like videos, maybe. Here, I think Bruce definitely won in the trash talking part of it. Okay, no, thank you for that, Moon. That was a lot of that was so fun, that archery. So Moon has this wide array of things that he does. Very sporty, outdoorsy guy, as you can tell. He's very fit. Moon. How long have you been doing this at Putti? Like, how long, like, from the beginning?
15 years now?
Goodness gracious.
So I think that we started in 2010. Yeah, a little bit earlier. Yeah.
15 years. It's like a teenager's age. Like, I'm 15. Yeah.
So my daughter was in the 2 that time.
There it is. So she's now 17.
16. Yeah.
16. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So in this time span, I'm assuming, being the CTO, you deal with the clients from the very beginning stages all the way up to the end.
Yes.
In different types of projects.
Yes.
To name them, middleware, ERP, software, mobile apps, even web applications,
yes.
and different things. So typically, you receive the problem that they bring, or the idea, or the challenge. Tell us about one of those things that really stuck out to you as an initial unclear problem.
So over the 15 years, we have a lot of different requirements from the customer. There are many of them are specific or very unique. However, that if I can categorizing, there are 3 the most common situations. I think. So one of the situations is basically company start with small, so they purchase some small SaaS softwares here and there. For example, CRM, and then I needed to have a Zero for accounting, and then payout or whatever, project management tools and stuff. So they grow, and then when they growing team, they needed to have another tool, another. Yeah. And then when they have some process, they don't talk each other. They have to do the manual process. For example, download the files, uploading there. So as you know, the human resource is very expensive.
Yes.
And then they don't know how to dealing this kind of stuff. And then at the end, they purchasing another software to have a communicate between them.
Yes.
And then systems are getting messy and mesh.
Yeah. I imagine it to be like like those power strips or power cords that you just plug in another power cord and you plug in another plug. And it's just kind of it becomes this whole spaghetti of things, and then you're like,
Exactly, yeah. And then people don't know how to solve. Because they are focusing about that industry or that.
They're doing their business. They're building their business. They're solving somebody else's problem.
Exactly, yeah.
So then they bring that to you. That's a common thing. And you did say 3. What are the other 2 that you kind of run into all the time?
The other one is the very sad story. Basically, as I mentioned, the industry is itself young. The customers doesn't know who is the good developer. So that they don't know about what kind of the capacity or the skill set they need. So that they choose the wrong developer, and then projects failed. And then they come back to say, hey, we've been having the 2 years for this project with the whatever the developer, and then they couldn't solve the problem. Can you able to help?
there are like to be a developer, like it's a decision in life that you have to make, and I think nobody starts out by saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be a bad developer." It's sometimes it's just not a match, and sometimes just one party understands it differently, and so then it just goes, whatever, and then there's a lot of forces pulling that. There's your account management process, your project management process, your DevOps, your system architecture. And so clients don't know this going in because all they have is an idea or a problem that they need to fix.
Exactly. And even that the good developer, the different skill set as you mentioned.
Yes.
So for example, that was the quite interesting project. The customers come to us, say, hey, I've been having that one of Russian developer associated to Russia, and then the project was over years, but that the project's delivered actually.
Yeah.
But she said, that project doesn't work or application doesn't work here and there.
Yeah.
I don't know how to solve.
Yeah.
So we ask them, hey, can I get the source code and code review? Actually, developer's good.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a very good writing, very good documentation here and there. However, he is very bad about the requirement gathering stuff.
Right.
So that when customers asking the developer couldn't understand that what's the purpose of the app or what that the customers actually asking. And then these guys just imagine based on his vision and then writing into the code.
Yeah.
So at the end, the expectation completely different, right?
Right. So it's just a mismatch on the expectation. The ability is there. Like there's so many, like almost all the developers I encountered, they're great at what they do, but all the other kind of peripheral skills or abilities are not there. Hence the difference with Putti is an agency structure basically, and agency as a word means the ability to with your own volition to be able to do it. And I think that's where there's somebody who focuses on product, there's somebody who focuses on architecture, there's somebody who focuses on DevOps, project management, quality, and that's just kind of the structure needed by any client, and that's the difference.
Exactly, yes. And then as you know, even you are going to have any orchestra, there are the maestro who is actually choosing which the instrument or which one is good and this kind of stuff. So what my role is to basically have to find the right people to put in the right position and right task. Right? Then that you can actually orchestra to make the nice music.
I don't think clients, it would be their strongest suit to be the maestro, because we'll go back to your construction analogy because it's really, really good. Me personally, I would say I could DIY maybe a little table, okay? And if I push myself, really, maybe I could DIY a room, not a bathroom, a room. But for me to build a house on my own, I would be insane to say that I could build, like you have council, you have plumbing, electric, all these things. That only, what's the right role? Only an architect or an engineer would be able to tell me, this is what you need to do. Even more so, you build a building, right? So when people try to solve this problem or build an idea by using just a dev because it's cost effective, it's almost like you're saying, I'm gonna build my own building. Like I'm just gonna use my carpenter friend to build a building for me. It's crazy, right? But then also it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's our job to actually educate people that look, this is why you need to go through these things.
Yes, so we can consult them, or we can giving them the right ways to do, or sometimes we are actually giving the hand to help them.
And sometimes it's also the reverse. Sometimes they over-engineer a simple idea. I mean, how many times? Because I handle strategic partnerships here at Putti, and how many times have I brought a situation to Moon and I said to Moon, like, Moon, this is what the client wants, and this is what this is what they imagine it. So I think this is where they want to go. And then Moon just goes, why do I have to build that? Let's just do it here and do it here quicker, cheaper, and it does what it's supposed to do. and sustainable, scalable. So sometimes that is also a dev. If you just work with any kind of dev, they might think, well, Ruby on Rails is where we should go, and then it's like an overkill almost to too much of a solution for just a little tiny problem.
Exactly, yeah. So I can give you some examples, or maybe
just don't say the brands. Don't say the name. Yeah.
So it looks like this way. Hey, you have the small car that's a Swift or whatever, and then you want to have a fine tuning on your car to make fancy looks good, and then you decide, okay, I want to have a big tires fitting into there, and then all bunch of the expensive stuffs. Actually, car is functionally working, right?
Yeah.
And then look and overview. Oh, you spend have $1 million for that car.
Yeah.
Is it really the right fit? For me, it's okay, maybe not. That maybe you're going to have just the bench, and then you're going to have a more fancy that device and those kind of stuff. That makes sense. But for your small business, why you need to have that much expensive one? It doesn't make sense. Even the big companies, they do have hey, we have this much in the project, put in lots of stuffs, more complicated. But the actual problem was not. The problem was your process.
Yeah.
You have to fix your process first, and then you go and have a small piece to go to have a try, and then go and have a next and next. So eventually you will get there.
True, because Chow and I in the previous episode, we were actually talking about what Putti goes through with clients in terms of actually figuring out the real problem, because that is the special power, like figuring out the actual problem. We're shown a symptom, much like you go to a doctor, you go, I have a cold, I'm coughing a little bit, and they tell you, oh, get your bloods done, get this test, get that test, and then that's kind of what we do. And so he says, so we try to understand the process that the client has in their business, and that is to assume that they actually have a process. And if they don't, it's kind of a bigger issue, right? And they're already jumping a few steps ahead by going, can you build me software? And we can't build software if there's nothing there's no actual process to it. Okay, Moon, you gave me the two, now hit me with a third. Mm-hmm. What is the third?
Third one is the more fun. I have an idea, can I build for me?
Yeah.
And the customers usually in the startup companies.
Yeah.
Hey, the IT, I want to have the SaaS software, can I do that? And the guys that see the big picture, that's good, and passion and ambitions.
Yeah.
So say, for example, I want to build and have an Uber app.
Yeah.
Some kind of imagine Uber, how many developers are?
Yeah.
100 developers and supporting that applications. But then he doesn't have enough in the budget or the resource, but he wants to get then level of the details.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, I have that small amount of money, can you build? Or that they say, it can be done. Or once it's done, say, hey, what's different? Why this one is low quality? Because of I'm looking for the Uber.
Yeah. But the sad part about that is there are actually devs that would say, yes, we can develop that. And it's mostly because they don't really care about what happens after. Like they do one little section of it, give it to the customer, the client.
Yeah.
I'm done. I delivered what you asked for. There it is. And then it's almost like you delivered like step one. And here's the thing I picked up with Putti and with you, Moon, and the guys who are dealing with customers. We always say, like, hang on, have you thought this through? Because if we're gonna do this is gonna be needed, and that's gonna be needed, and this has to happen, and da-da-da. It's almost like you show the roadmap and the runway, the reality of the idea.
Yes.
Because we've seen it over and over.
Yeah,
we've experienced it over and over, and you go like, you're walking into $1 million idea with 20,000 in your pocket, like that. You have to prepare. Big gaps, yeah. So okay.
So that's why when you do they have a start in the project, we are asking customer, what's your expectation, and then what we can deliver. And then you can have adjust that the expectations, right? Because otherwise, you have a completely different vision. We have a different ways. See, at the end, trouble.
Trouble, yeah. And then it's just because this unclear set of expectations are, in the middle of the guys building and the guys with the vision for it. And so, okay, rapid fire with Moon Kim. Ready? Okay, let's go. Code or no code?
Depend on.
Depends on the situation. A safe answer, but we'll take it. We'll take it. One monitor or multi-monitor?
Multi-monitors.
What for? What are you doing with 300 monitors?
I need to have a multiple stops and comparisons sometimes open. So the code review situations or scope reviewing or researching.
I do multi-monitor now only because Ivan gives me crap about it, and so there you go. Work with music or no music?
No music for me. Yeah.
What is life without music, Moon? Long emails or long meetings?
I hate both. Yeah. So usually, I recommend the team to make the emails short as less as they can, and then the meetings maximum 2 hours.
Maximum 2 hours. You go over 2 hours with Moon?
Yeah. Stop.
Stop. Bye.
Yeah.
This is it. Okay, last question. Function or form?
Function.
Function. Now you know a little bit about Moon, which is just prelude to actually me promoting again that we're going to do a series which is like a bag dump of our tech essentials when we work on a day-to-day here at the Putti office. And so watch out for that. Check out our content on all of our channels. Thank you for viewing this. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. This has been Tom and
Moon.
Moon, the handsome Moon, the young Moon. We'll see you on the next episode.
Good.